I'm with Mr. David. Where are we, Dave?
Right, I'm David Kirkpatrick and from the Solway Aviation Museum at Carlisle Lake District Airport.
Right, okay. What do you do here, Dave?
I'm classed as a procurement director. I buy all the products, the shop, for the engineers, anything the museum needs. It's my role to go and find it at a very good price.
Oh, excellent. You do hammer us down when it comes to advertising. Anyway, 23rd of July, what's happening?
Yes, hopefully, it's all down to serviceability. The Battle of Britain Memorial Flight Lancaster will be flying through the airport. We believe it's going to do 3 loops past in celebration of the 80th anniversary of the Dambuster raid. The timing has to be confirmed, but currently it's 12:47 that it's flying through.
Okay. What time does the museum open on that day?
It'll open at 10:30 on the Saturday morning, and we're open until 5 o'clock in the evening.
So people get themselves down nice and early, avoid any traffic. There's some traffic lights outside. Well, not out there, but just down the road. Then there's no worries. They're not going to miss anything, are they?
No. If you get yourself in plenty of time, because as I say, it's going to depend on the weather, on the pilot, on the aircraft. It could be early, it could be later. We're in the hands of the RAF.
Okay. Now, the Solway Aviation Museum, it's absolutely massive. There's about 3,000 plus. There's more exhibits here for people to see and do. And you've got a shop that sells loads of goodies as well. Just for those that don't know about Solway Aviation Museum, just tell us a bit about the history and where we are now.
The history, well, it's been going on since 1961. It started with the Royal Observer Corps members wanted to get together and have a club, as it were. And they used to meet in the tower and talk about aircraft that's actually called the tower and landed at the airfield. And then they decided, well, maybe we should do something else. And they bought an ex-RAF jet and put it on display at the airport here. And then after a few years, they decided, well, surely we can make it fly again. And they worked at it. And we became the very first society to put an ex-RAF jet back in the air. Oh. And it is still flying to this day. It was actually at Kirkbride just a month ago at the recent flying.
So what was the story with that plane then? It come to the museum, you fixed it and then sent it back flying?
Yeah, that's basically it. No one had ever done it before, taking an ex-military jet. They all been scrapped in the past, so we just put it on display. We had aircraft engineers who decided, let's make it fly again. They did they stripped it all down.
Was that legal?
As I say, no one's ever done it before. We started a trend.
Right, okay. The pièce de résistance at Solway Aviation Museum is the Vulcan. You got that for a song?
We got that for £5,000 delivered. Though there was a hidden cost. We had to provide one night's accommodation for the crew and give them the train ticket back home.
Right. Now, for those that don't know, it actually flew into Carlisle Airport.
Yes, it did. Yes, it flew in. There's video of it on our YouTube channel. Just type in Vulcan XJ823 and you can actually see some very old border TV footage of the aircraft coming in. Unfortunately, they never recorded the sound. So it's seeing a silent jet it's not right, but it's still great to see. Now,
this particular Vulcan, it held the record as the world's fastest Vulcan. That's a fact.
That is the true fact, yes. Part of its life, it went and broke the sound barrier. It wasn't supposed to do it. It was a training exercise, and the pilot put it into a shallow dive and exceeded the recommended speed. And with the delta wings, if you exceed the speed, they become slightly unresponsive. So as it got faster and faster, the pilot was starting to panic a little bit. It broke the sound barrier before he could actually recover the aircraft and bring it back to normal flight. It actually rippled the wings on the aircraft, so it was grounded for a short while until they asked the ferry pilot to bring it back to the UK. They didn't tell the crew that it had been in an accident as such, so they flew it back, and it spent about 18 months to be reskinned.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Now, how many planes have you got here in total?
In total, there's over 23 at the moment, and it's still growing.
And people can actually get in some of these cockpits?
Yes, you can get into. You can get into the Vulcan. You can get into the Canberra. You can get into the Sea Prince. We are trying to open more, but they were never designed for public access.
Yeah.
They were designed for pilots to go up and squeeze into them because they are very small. Some of these cockpits.
Okay. What's your favourite item?
Favorite item now? It's difficult because I've been here that long that everything is really. It's almost like my own toys.
Okay.
I would say personally the Vulcan is probably one of the best ones. It's one I've spent 20 years working on.
Right.
But now there is a rival sneaking up, and it's the bus.
The spiky Norman.
Spiky Norman. We all hate that name, but then again, that's its name. And it's becoming very popular. It's actually now doing tours on the weekend.
Right, okay. For those that don't know, Spiky Norman, just explain what Spiky Norman is.
It's a Bedford Vulcan crew bus. It's the bus that they use for the Vulcan crews to scramble and to go to the aircraft. Right. So it's actually doing what it was designed to do, taking people down to a Vulcan.
Okay. Did you not get it from a Scouts or something?
It was through Bangers and Cash.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it was on Bangers and Cash, and it was reserved. There was a reserve price on it, but nobody bid £1 even on it. Right. So our chairman Dougie phoned up Derek from Bangers and Cash the following day and put an offer in, which was accepted, and then it started. We got it done. It's now probably one of the most popular Bangers and Cash TV series that they've had. Yeah.
It costs you a small fortune, and you would love to get more people, more members, more sponsors, more local businesses getting involved and supporting you guys. The question being, going talking about memberships, you've got working memberships, like Friends of the Museum, and then you've got just general annual passes. Just explain the difference and how people can get involved.
We have a membership scheme where you can either be a volunteer that works in the shop, or on the aircraft, or in the grounds, and that's just £15 a year. Or you can simply be a friend of the museum, and you pay your £15. You get the emails. You get to bring your family free as many times as you want. Right. It's quite a cost-effective way for regular visitors, and we have our biggest repeat visitor are the ones that's been before and keep coming back to see what we do, because we change things on a regular basis. Okay. Sometimes we can't find them because we've changed them.
Right, okay. But volunteers, you want and need more.
We could do with an awful lot more. Our opening times are limited to Friday, Saturday and Sunday and bank holidays, purely as we're restricted by the number of volunteers we have that will work in the shop. We could do with another 10 to 15 for the shop rota. Engineering wise, we've been extremely lucky since COVID, and we've had a lot of good people come forward, ex-forces people. Yeah. Ex-forces people throw themselves into anything, anytime, anywhere, and never complain.
We'll finish off July
23rd at 12:47, but be early for the Lancaster.
Yeah, it's going to be flying over 3 times.
You'll do 3 circuits of the airport. Okay. Hopefully.
Thank you very much. Cheers.